Welcome to the Don't Get Full Show with Big Red Nights College Football Week 14. Let's go, Ace.
All right, boys and girls, college football Week 14. Cannot believe it. The last week before the conference championships, the season has gone by quickly. Let's go out with a bang in the regular season, Big Reese. So without further ado, here we go, boys and girls. Aquí vamos, chicos y chicas. Let's go. All right, game one. We got UCLA at number 15, USC. USC is a 21.5-point favorite. UCLA 3-8, coming off a 48-14 loss to Washington. They're on a 4-game losing streak. They started off 0-4. Then they ripped off 3 straight wins, one of them versus Penn State, and then they lost their last 4 games. 8 of their 11 games, they've given up at least 28 points. Quarterback Nico Aleva is doubtful, and I do not expect him to play this game. This is the last game. They got nothing to play for, so I don't expect him to play here. We got USC 8-3. They're coming off a 42-27 loss to Oregon. Good game. They had their opportunities. They could not, show up when they needed. And honestly, the defense was horrible. Defense stinks. And this is per usual for Lincoln Riley. His teams never focus on defense. And it's just been always comes back to bite Lincoln Riley and his teams. Snapped a 3-game winning streak for USC. And all 3 losses for USC were on the road. So all of them were road losses to ranked teams. They lost 34-32 to Illinois, 34-24 to Notre Dame, and then 42-37 to Oregon. And here's my thoughts here. This is a rivalry game here in Los Angeles. Normally, rivalry games are very close, and both teams just have, some extra juice to play for. But USC and Lincoln Riley, they really want this win. And they want to blow out UCLA. It's going to be very important to keep the momentum for the regular season they had. They were 8-2 prior to this Oregon game. At this point, they have the number 1 recruiting class, and they want to keep it. And obviously, they lost to Oregon and they lost to Notre Dame. They couldn't win either of those big games. So at least you got to go out, let everybody remember that you blew out UCLA, and you ended 9-3, and UCLA stinks. They are really bad, and I like USC to blow them out. I'm taking USC minus 21.5. All right, game 2. We got Charlotte at number 24, Tulane. Tulane is a 29.5-point favorite. Charlotte 1-10, coming off a 35-3 loss to Georgia. That was one of my picks last week. They are on an 8-game losing streak. Their only win, 42-35 to Monmouth, and just a really bad team. Not much else to say about Charlotte. Then we got Tulane, who is 9-2, coming off a 37-13 win versus Temple. They dominated this game. They're on a 3-game winning streak, and they are 6-1 in their last 7 games. They have scored at least 30 points in 6 of their 11 games. And here's my thoughts there. This is a very important game for Tulane. They can still make the conference championship game. So they need to obviously they're going to win here. And I think they are going to dominate. They're going to beat up on Charlotte. And then they'll get a chance to play North Texas in the conference championship game. And if they can beat a 1-loss North Texas team, there's an outside chance one of those teams makes the conference championship. And I like Tulane here. I'm taking Tulane minus 29.5. All right, game 3. We got James Madison at Coastal Carolina. James Madison is a 22-point favorite. James Madison 10-1, coming off a 24-20 win versus Washington State. They played well in this game, but not great. And that's kind of the story because they've had a pretty weak schedule. But, Washington State, a big-name school, they beat them. I'll give them credit. They're on a 9-game winning streak here. Only loss was in week 2, 28-14 at Louisville. High-powered offense for James Madison, averaging 36 points per game. We got Coastal Carolina, who's 6-5. They're coming off a 51-7 loss to South Carolina. They were on a 2-game losing streak. Prior to this game, they were pretty decent team prior to this, this game. And here's my thoughts here. James Madison is clearly the better team, clearly better offense, no question about it. But Coastal Carolina will put up points in this game. They've scored, prior to the South Carolina game, they've scored at least 40 points plus in their last 4 games. And I like them to put up points. This is my lock of the week. I'm taking Coastal Carolina plus 22. All right, Big Ree, let's go.
The first game I got is a Friday game. Don't be spending money. Watch sports. I got Ole Miss at Mississippi State. Ole Miss is coming off a bye week. Last game was versus Florida, where they won 34-24. Mississippi State also coming off a bye week. Last game, they were blown out by Missouri, 47-27. Ole Miss is 10-1 on the season. Their one loss comes versus Georgia on the road. Mississippi State is 5-6. Both teams heading in different directions. Ole Miss has had one impressive win on the road, which was versus Oklahoma, which is solid. Mississippi State has had one game where they lost by more than 7 points, which was versus Georgia, and they kept it close versus Texas, and they kept it close versus Tennessee too, within a touchdown. Home field will be a big factor here, and I'm taking Mississippi State plus 7.5. The second game I got is the game of the week, Texas A&M at Texas. Texas coming off a big 52-37 win versus Arkansas. Texas A&M coming off a 48-0 win versus Samford. Nothing to say here. Texas A&M is 11-0. Their best road wins comes versus LSU. Texas best win comes versus Oklahoma. Arch Manning played well last week. 18 for 30, 389 yards, 4 touchdowns passing and 1 rushing. I gotta give the guy credit. We've been talking crap about him all season, and kudos to him. I think everyone is going to be overhyped though on him, and everyone's going to be taking Texas. They gave up a lot of points to Arkansas, and I think Texas A&M is going to give them the works. The public is going to be heavy on Texas, and I'm taking Texas A&M minus 2.5. That's my lock of the week. The last game I got is Miami at Pittsburgh. Miami coming off a 34-17 win versus Virginia Tech. Nothing to write here about. Pittsburgh coming off a huge win on the road versus Georgia Tech, 42-38. The score looks a lot closer than it was. Pittsburgh just dominated this game all game. Miami was disappointed, a lot of people, because they didn't cover the spread by half a point. Pittsburgh made Vegas a lot of money and happy. I think everyone's going to overreact over that Pittsburgh win. Miami is a much better team, even though it's on the road, and I'm taking Miami minus 6.5.
All right. Can't wait. Good luck, boys and girls.